Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And I think this will be a much shorter one because this is a particular film that I feel like I don't want to give too much away in this one because I really want people to check this one out and give your own thoughts on it though. But I really love this movie, and of course, it was given, you know, select theaters and all that stuff, not a wide release, which it should have. It should have gotten a wide release. And I think when I got this Blu-ray of it. I said I saw it in select theaters. I was mistaken. I was thinking of another film that I saw. I never got to see this in theaters. I wish it would have, but I wish that that's why certain indie movies should get released in wide theaters. You know, but when it's given a limited release, it makes very little money. This film should have made some money, you know, but whatever. But it's definitely in my top 5 favorite films of this year. But and that stars Nicolas Cage in one of his best performances I've seen yet, and that is of Mandy. And what can I say is I really love this movie. It is a film that got a lot of critical praise. It's a 92% Rotten Tomatoes, although it has a 6.7 IMDb, which I give a much more higher rating than IMDb than a 6.7. This film rocked, I would say. This film rocked. And Nicolas Cage, he was just phenomenal in this. And all those good reviews it says right here from Village Voice says insanely violent and thoroughly beautiful. Probably said that word wrong though, but yeah. IndieWire says it's astonishing, and the playlist says Nicolas Cage gives the performance of a lifetime. He definitely gives a phenomenal performance in this film. He did such an excellent job. And the director of this film is Panos Cosmatos. Now, if the last name sounds familiar, Cosmatos, Panos is the son of director George P. Cosmatos. And George P. Cosmatos, he directed Rambo 2, Leviathan, Cobra, Tombstone, Of Unknown Origin, and Shadow Conspiracy. So, yeah, George P. Cosmatos. This is directed by his son, Panos Cosmatos. And he does such a phenomenal job, a fantastic job in this movie. And this was... Now, I don't want to give too much away, because this one I particularly feel like I don't want to give it too much away in this film. I really want people to check this film out if no one has even seen or heard of this movie. Probably because, like I said, it was given a limited release, so it never got a wide selection and release in theaters. So, but I don't want to give too much away. I'll give a little bit of details though. But I feel like I should just, you should watch it and either be surprised or not. So, but yeah, but George because his son Panos Cosmatos directed this. And also, there's a lot of producers on this, but one of them is actually Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood is actually one of the producers of this film, surprisingly. And the story is, it takes place in 1983, and Nicolas Cage plays his character named Red Miller, and with his girlfriend named Mandy, played by Andrea Riseborough. And one leads to another. There's this cult, and the leader of this film, or lead bad guy, Linus Roache, which he's put in the show Vikings, which I've not seen because I never got into particular shows like those, so I wouldn't know. But Linus Roache, he did such a great job as the villain in this film. I think he's just a great villain. And and essentially it's a great revenge story as well. Just how with Nicolas Cage and sees how the love of his life getting burned alive, and especially I think it was especially a sleeping bag. It was just being burned alive, and until she's nothing but ashes. And Nicolas Cage just has that. This is his reaction. That was just the way the performance he gives was just really well done. And this is how the film Panos Cosmatos shoots it. It's very visually stunning to watch. I don't say that often, visually stunning, like for a particular film like this. But it was really well shot, well edited. Cinematography is well edited. Just how the atmosphere of the film looks. It's visually beautiful to look at. And the score also is well done as well by Johan Johansson, which earlier this year he passed away earlier this year in February, so that's sad though. But he did may he rest in peace, but he did such a great job with his score. And it's just with a great score. The visual style of this film is another word I could use for it. Stylish. It's very stylish as well. And it makes me wish we can get more films like this nowadays, but you don't. Because, like I said, I keep saying a lot of times, remakes, reboots, or rehashed stuff as well, and it's hard to get. Well, it's hard to do anything original nowadays, though. But try to, though. But it's just with all the stuff it gives, all the stuff like there are films that I do like that came out this year. Of course, I do, though. But it's just 90% of the time, just like I said, reboots and remakes and all the stuff that we've seen or rehashed or recycled done before. But the stuff that I enjoy this year, like I said, like Christopher Robin is my favorite because I reviewed it. So I say how Winnie the Pooh was and his friends were special characters I grew up loving. So that just holds something to me when I reviewed it. So I've already explained it. So, but I enjoy this film as well, and then Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I will say I put that in my top 5 as well, but like a sequel to me, like for that film, to me that was an improvement over the previous film to me. But that's what sometimes why I review that though. But this film, and also for the supporting cast as well. Like I said, Linus Roache was great as the villain. Richard Brake, I seen him in a couple of films before, but I can't remember though. And one actor in particular, which he's only in for one scene though, but it was good to see him in this film. I haven't seen him do stuff in like quite some time, and that is of right there, Bill Duke. He was only in for one scene with Nicolas Cage though, but it was great to see him because I haven't seen him do like quite some time. And Bill Duke, playing Mac in Predator, and then he was one of the bad guys in Commando. He's like, "Fuck you, asshole," and then his gun is empty. He's like, Arnold's like, "Fuck you, asshole." But yeah, it was good to see Bill Duke. He hasn't done stuff in quite some time, so it was good to see him in this film. But he's only for that one scene though. But still, what other stuff about it? The action sequences I really did enjoy. Some fun action scenes, and the villains, you just hate them. Especially when the villain gets what's coming to them, especially to all of them, and really fun action sequence like with Nicolas Cage, what he does with this axe here, some of the kills he does, and even got a fun chainsaw sequence as well. Even you get some really trippy scenes as well, like when Nicolas Cage hallucinates and all that stuff. Very trippy as well. And it was just a fun ride to watch. And the film, it's on for like but it's 2 hours basically. And I think some people will have issues with the pacing though, but the pacing never bothered me because it's a slow burn. Some films with that does a slow burn, it builds up. I see sometimes it builds up, sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it doesn't though. But to me, this slow burn film, let's say the payoff, it pays off at the end. That's what I'm trying to say. It starts slowly building up, but then the payoff at the end is well received. But like I said, I don't want to give too much away because I feel this is a particular film that I feel like it's worth watching without me giving too much away. Otherwise, you won't. Because I always give away spoilers in most of all of my reviews, though. But I ever rarely say give too much away without just trying to check it out for yourself. So, but Mandy, I just really love this movie. Nicolas Cage, he was just phenomenal in this. I think it's one of his best roles I've seen in a long time. Panos Cosmatos, great job directing this film. Visually well made and stylish, and great job. He did a great job with it, and he helped do the story in this film. And there's behind the scenes, the featurette right here. Oh, so excited, I dropped it. Dang it. I'm just so excited about this film. It just makes me slip my butterfingers. But behind the scenes, he says, you know, like how he tells about how the story is, like how it's not about the story, it's how you tell it. So yeah, and he told the story very well. He did a great job with the story. The score by Johan Johansson, may he rest in peace. He did a phenomenal job with the score. The cast is a great job. The supporting cast, especially Nicolas Cage and Andrea Riseborough, who plays Mandy, she was still good as well. Bill Duke, for the one scene that he had, it was nice to see him as well. Linus Roache, he was a great villain, especially when he gets his just desserts, you could say, at the end. And so does the other bad guys as well. These guys you love to hate, and just really satisfying. Like I said, the pacing, maybe it starts out slow though, but at the end it pays off. You get satisfactory, especially at the end. So, and the action sequences I enjoyed, and especially you get a lot of that some trippy scenes, especially what Nicolas Cage is going through, and how his reaction with the death of his his girlfriend, and it's a great revenge story, and a good thing it doesn't end on a downbeat ending. I will say that it does not end on a downbeat ending, which is typical nowadays, because most times films like these always have downbeat endings. But this, I will say, I'm glad it didn't. Otherwise, that would have ruined the whole movie for me. But Mandy, I just love this movie, so it's definitely in my top 5 for sure. It's just a film that was under the radar. I just wish it got a bigger, wide release in theaters. Why do films like these get limited release? I know it's an indie film like at the Sundance. Films that premiere at the Sundance Film Festival like those usually don't get wide releases in theaters. Why? Why does films like these don't get wide releases in theaters? Because the film was critically acclaimed, it has a 92% Rotten Tomatoes, good word of mouth. Why doesn't it get released in theaters instead of being in select theaters? The film, box office-wise, because it was select in theaters, it only made like about $1 million. Why? But I'll never understand that. I don't know how the way the theater thing works, whether they want to, but anyway, just I really advise to check out Mandy. If you don't like the film, that's fine. It's your opinion, though. But to me, I think you won't be disappointed with this film. If anyone who's a fan of Nicolas Cage, I highly recommend watching this. He does gives a great performance, one of his best I've seen. But yeah, this is a film I didn't want to give too much away because I think it's a film that you really want. I really think you should check out watching, and just see for yourself before. So, but I give it definitely 2 thumbs up. So, but like I said, if you don't like the movie, respect that. It's your opinion. But to me, it's worth a watch, and I don't want to give too much away. So, but I really advise you check it out for yourself to watch this film, Mandy. It's just really awesome to watch. That's it to me. The film, it rocked for me. So, But yeah, this is my short little review, not particularly most of it non-spoiler for Mandy. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.